everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so pleased that you have found us here in the back room. It has been such a joy to be with you all for all these going on, well, more than 5 years now. And we're so honored that you have stayed with us and that so many of you have joined us, new viewers, new listeners, new readers, and we absolutely welcome you all. I'm your host, Hank Philippi Ryan, the USA Today bestselling author of 16 going on 17 novels of suspense. I'm also the investigative reporter for Boston's WHGH-TV, winning 37 Emmys for my investigative reporting. I've also won 5 Agathas, 5 Anthonys, and the coveted Mary Higgins Clark Award for my writing. My current novel is the USA Today bestseller, One Wrong Word, and my new book comes out on September the 9th. It is called All This Could Be Yours, about a debut author with a surprise bestseller who finds her glamorous book tour disrupted when a Faustian bargain she once made decides it's time to come due. Let me introduce these wonderful authors to you right now. I'm going to introduce them alphabetically. So wave when you hear your name. Nikki Cloke, hi Nikki, is coming to us from Cambridgeshire in the UK, where it is past midnight now. So she is a true stalwart for being here. She is the author of Her Many Faces, a psychological suspense novel. Hold up that cover, that's great. A psychological suspense novel that tells the story of a woman on trial for murder through the eyes of the 5 men who think they know her best. She lives in England and has worked as a nanny, a Christmas elf, and a cocktail waitress to support her writing, the latter of which proved useful research for this book. Welcome, Nikki, and thank you for being here tonight. Kyra Davis Lurie is a New York Times bestselling author whose latest novel, The Great Man, imagines the Great Gatsby as a post-World War II story that takes place in real life, elite and wealthy Black Los Angeles neighborhood of Sugar Hill. This is the best idea I have ever heard. I just want to say, sometimes you just hear a good idea and you think, wow, that is totally genius. Kyra is based in Los Angeles, and this is her first work of historical fiction. And you have hit it out of the ballpark, Kyra. Dwyer Murphy is the author of The House on Buzzards Bay, as well. Thank you. Hold that up. Hold that up. As well as An Honest Living and The Stolen Coast, both of which were New York Times Editor's Choice selections. He is the editor-in-chief of literary hub Crime Reads Vertical, the world's most popular destination for thriller writers. And if you don't know about Crime Reads, look it up. The instant this program is over, you will absolutely be hooked. And we will put the link to that in the chat. Literary Hub's Crime Reads. Dwyer Murphy runs that, and he does it gorgeously. Welcome, Dwyer. And we have a theme because Liza Tully is in Boston as well. Liza Tully is the pseudonym for Elizabeth Brink, and her new book is The World's Greatest Detective and His Just Okay Assistant, which is just out and absolutely wonderful. Before turning to fiction writing, she served as an editor at a children's magazine, a project manager at a tech company, and a counselor at a halfway house. She earned a PhD in American literature from Brandeis University and is the author of scholarly articles on subjects as diverse as Cinderella and Walt Whitman, but not together, I think. And she lives in Boston. Welcome. So thank you and welcome to you all. What a wonderful lineup we have tonight. And now I want to move on to our fabulous, the back room 20 questions. It's not really 20 questions, but we just want to give you all an opportunity to hear some inside scoop of our marvelous authors for this evening. And I'm just going to take you in the order I see you on the screen. So Dwyer, you are first. What is your favorite classic novel?
Probably The Great Gatsby. So I was also enticed by by the suggestion of that book. That sounds like such a wonderful idea, and it's one of those novels that I guess because it's so ingrained in the American consciousness, you can reimagine it in all of these ways, and it's so resonant in all of them. So I can't wait to read that book.
Yeah. A mutual admiration society. I can't wait to hear when you got the idea, Kyra. That's just got to have been a real moment. Nikki, what is your favorite summer activity?
Ooh, probably reading, but that's boring, isn't it?
Well, where's your favorite place to read in the summer?
By a pool, always, or in the garden, also good. I do actually really like gardening, and I love that time at the end of spring, beginning of summer, where everything is coming out and I've become very middle-aged in how much I love gardening.
I think we have to embrace that, really. It's like watching birds, and I think, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm old. And then I think, no, this is really lovely. So, do you
Yeah.
have your own garden?
I do, but actually, right now I'm house sitting for my parents who are in America. They're in Seattle. And they have a pond in their garden. And this morning I was out in the garden and found a duck with 8 ducklings trying to get in the pond. So it just felt like cartoon countryside, idyllic.
You are
Yeah.
definitely in a fairy tale, and I
Yeah.
hope it's a good fairy tale. That's
Yeah.
adorable. We'll send you Make Way for Ducklings, a famous Boston children's book. So,
Yes, please.
you need that. You need that. Liza Tully, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, I wanted to be an architect.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't sure what an architect was, and nobody else seemed to be able to tell me, but I thought it would be really fun to design buildings and interior spaces. So that didn't lasted a few years.
you didn't know what an architect was, but you knew that there was someone.
Well, I didn't know that you had to draw, and I didn't know how you did it. I just knew that somebody did it, and somebody decided what buildings would look like. And then when you went in, and they would decide where all the rooms would be. And so I wanted to be that person
So now you
because
just
I
do it
wanted to
in
make
books.
different kinds of buildings.
Now you just do it in books.
Exactly, exactly. And yeah, you take, I think with writing, you take all your kind of loves and your passions with you, and you can explore everything you love.
Oh, we'll ask you about that in the breakout room. That is a great topic. Kyra, show us or tell us about one thing on your desk.
Oh, I got that one. Okay. Um, this is a Swedish horse. I have friends from Sweden. They brought it to me. I don't really know what it symbolizes, but it's kind of cute. And I know it has some sort of Swedish thing going on with it. So I just keep it on my desk, and I love the people who gave it to me. So yeah, I have a horse.
Oh, that's nice. It is beautiful. I've never seen anything like
Nice.
that.
Yeah, exactly. And again, and I know, and it's significant, even if I don't know why. So, there's a mystery. That's it.
That's it. And maybe somebody in the audience will recognize the design and tell you the secrets of your horse. That would be
Just something Viking. I think that's it. Something Viking. Someone in the chat said it's something Viking, and I'm going with that.
okay. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's a reindeer without the
No, it's definitely a horse.
definitely a horse. Okay.
I read Black Stallion and everything. This is a horse.
Wait, speaking of sharing, we do want to know what you all are reading, and we have asked our authors before the show to come up with a book that they are reading or that they love or that they're recommending, because we don't want you just to buy all of their books. We want to make your TBR piles. Karen and I want your TBR piles to go up and up and up and up. You may have noticed that the acronym for the back room is TBR, and this is where that all begins. We want your to be read piles to go up and up. So again, I'll start with Dwyer. Tell us what book you're recommending tonight.
I am recommending Megan Abbott's new book, El Dorado Drive. I imagine that many of you are familiar with Megan Abbott and probably clamoring for this book already. There, you had a nice graphic queued up for it. It's this slow burn thriller about women in Michigan outside of Detroit, Grosse Pointe, and they're sort of living in a desperate moment in their lives, and a lot of them used to sort of be connected to the auto industry and have wealth and riches, and now they're on hard times and they band together into a sort of shady investment club that gets dark really quickly. And I think Megan has described it as Goodfellas at a country club, and I just loved that concept, and it works so well. It's this really beautiful slow burn thriller that I think my wife and I both immediately. It's one of the few books that we read together. We don't read a lot of books together, but this one, whenever Megan has a new book come out, we read it together. And so it's a special experience for us.
Nikki, tell us
Well,
what book
just
you're
quickly
reading.
to say, I'm the biggest Megan Abbott fan as well. I love her books and I loved this. I think it's one of her best. So I definitely second that. But I am recommending The Names. I love it so much that my copy has been stolen, but this is the US cover. I don't know if you'll ever see it, but it's on the graphic. I love a sliding doors novel or film, and this is kind of that, but different. The concept is basically a baby boy is born and his mum can't decide between 3 names. And the novel kind of splits into 3 strands that follow what his life would be like if she picks each of these names. And they kind of intertwine, but his life goes in very different directions, which when I heard that, I thought that's a great pitch. And it sold in so many countries, big deals. But actually, it's so much more than that. That's kind of the jumping off point for her. But it's this big novel about domestic violence and the effect it has on children, about the ripple effect that even the smallest decision can make on many lives, like love, family, found family, inheritance and loss. And it's really beautifully written, and it made me cry, which is not that hard, but it made me cry several times.
That is such a touchingly relatable idea. And there's a wonderful Robert Frost poem called Maple, and it ends with a really chilling line, which is about be careful what you name your children. So I recommend that you look at that. It's quite astonishing. Another great suggestion. Thank you, Nikki. Liza, Tully, what are you suggesting?
Well, I'm suggesting this book called The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz. And this is the first book in a series featuring Anthony Horowitz as himself, the narrator, and his private investigator buddy, Daniel Hawthorne. And it has one of the best opening scenes I think I've ever read, because it starts with a woman who goes into a funeral parlor to organize and to, her own funeral. And later, that very day, she ends up being killed. So Anthony Horowitz is working as a movie producer, and as anybody who knows him knows that he's done Foyle's War and the Alex Rider series and the Moonflower Murders and all kinds of great stuff. And so it's just fabulous to listen to him talk about his life, which is, he's truthful in this about his life and his marriage and his work that he does. But at the same time, there's this mystery going on where he's following this fictional detective, Daniel Hawthorne, as they try to solve the mystery of what happened to Diana Cooper, who was killed the day she planned her own funeral.
Is he not a genius? I mean, I don't even know how Anthony Horowitz's brain works.
He is definitely a genius. There's no other way to say it. And the things that are wonderful about this book include the style of the writing. It's so accessible, it's so conversational, but it's also so smart. And his characters are people that you can recognize from your own life, and they come across as very three-dimensional, and the problems they have are things you can really relate to. I think he's just a genius on all levels.
Yeah, and it's super meta that he's really in it. It's the funniest, most high wire act that I've ever read in writing. Absolutely. So totally agree with you, Liza. Kyra, what book are you recommending?
Okay, so I'm recommending something a little different. Woman, Girl, Other by Bernadette Evaristo. This book, I'm a little obsessed with it. It's written in the way that it's a little bit of experimental fiction because she plays with punctuation, but it's all these different women, these different Black women of completely different experiences that are linked sometimes through family, sometimes through friendship, sometimes through career, or college. But it's almost like short stories, but there's a link through. Some of it is historical fiction, some of it's current, but every character, every story is so captivating, the experience so unique. You just get pulled into these women's lives, and no one is a cliche, no one is a stereotype, nobody is one thing. So I mean, this book, I fell in love with the book to the point that my stepdaughter made earrings for me of the cover. So so yeah, it is definitely continues to be on my list.
That's fantastic. There no higher calling than earrings of the cover, definitely so. And I see we have a different title in our graphic, so another book that Kyra loves. So you
Yeah.
get for the price of one. We love that tonight. Thank you so much, Kyra. Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded, because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.